Welcome back. Did I say verse 93? Okay, 93. A man whose wandering and imaginary thoughts have ended, who is neither a glutton nor greedy, whose residence is as empty as a wretched lane. The path of such a man is difficult to tread, just like the way of eagles high in the heavens. When one's flesh, this is 94 now, when one's flesh or special physical powers have found serenity and poise, when one has abandoned pride and arrogance and is liberated from wandering and imaginary thoughts, not even the deities or devas, which is the gods, of course, can resist eyeing a noble man of such caliber. Verse 95. He lives untroubled, like the solid ground. He is trustworthy and well established, like a solid fort, incorruptible, like a great lake. For a noble man of such caliber, samsara fails, rebirths end. That's verse 95. Verse 96. Liberated by awareness and perfect knowledge, ever tranquil, the heart of a noble man of this caliber is blessed with tranquility. Even his words and deeds are tranquil. And this is the exact goal. This is the objective of these words are medicines. You have to understand. It's not the way you've been viewing words. It's very different. When we are reading the Dhammapada, this is therapeutic. It's medicinal. It brings healing to your soul. The words of the Buddha is our doctor. The Buddha is our doctor. That's the title we give him in Buddhism. The Buddha is our doctor. And the words of the Buddha are medicinal. That's why I gave you the instructions. I said, when you come before the Buddha, relax, because we know we are not going to hear something like send you to hellfire. We kill you and destroy you and smash you to death. No, you hear that in Judeo-Christian traditions. We don't hear that in Buddhism. When you come before the Buddha, you are relaxed, because you see, there's a difference. We don't serve a God. You see, we are ignorant students. Ignorant students. That's why we go to school. Why do you go to school? If you have knowledge, you won't have education. Right? Confucius, the greatest scholar of China, said, I was not born knowing. I had to study. I had to study. And I took my studies seriously. Confucius is the greatest scholar in Chinese history. And these were his words in the Analects. He wasn't born knowing. He had to put the effort. So if you knew everything in the world, why do you go to school? What are you doing in school then? We go to school to learn because we are ignorant. We don't know. We were not born knowing. When you were born from your mother's womb, you were innocent and you didn't know anything. So your mother probably started teaching you the language. She started speaking some words to you. You started exchanging some words, learning some words, picking some words, some terms. A few months old, crawling, standing and then walking. Now you started growing your first birthday, second birthday, and so on. Got it? So it's like a programming. We learn. We learned everything in this world was learned. We learned language from our parents, from our first teachers. Everything had to be learned. So we are not born knowing exactly what Confucius said. We had to study. And you keep on studying and studying and studying. So in Buddhism, this is exactly what it is. It's not God and sinner relationship. We are not sinners in Buddhism. We are just ignorant students who come to school to learn. We don't know, and so we come plain. And when we study, what happens? Now we know, because we've studied a little bit. The more you study, the more you know. The more you study, the more you know. And what about what you have not studied? If you've studied Russian language, you know Russian language. If you've not studied Russian language, you don't know Russian language. If you studied English language, then you know English language. If you've not studied English language, then you don't know English language. You studied Chinese, then you know Chinese. You've not studied Chinese, then you don't know Chinese. You've studied Korean or Japanese, you know Korean or Japanese. You've not studied Korean or Japanese, you don't know Korean or Japanese. Period. That's what it is. And of course, our African languages, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Nigerian, and so on. Okay? So when you study, you know what you have studied. What you have studied, and up to the point to which you have put that effort to study. We just know as much as we have studied. The Buddha understands that. What I'm teaching you right now, if you've got the point, you will discover why you are not a sinner. You got the point? It's very different from Christianity. Christianity, even the newborn baby innocent in his mother's arm is called a sinner. Christianity says, well, the new child has the sin of Adam. He was born with original sin. I don't buy that because I'm Buddhist. In Buddhism, you are just ignorant. You've not studied. There's a difference here. In Christianity, you are baptized. You are given sin. A newborn baby is said to have sin, sinful, born in sin. In Buddhism, you are not born in sin. You are just born unknowing. If you are a very intelligent person, which one do you think you buy? I pick the one of Buddhism more. I was not born a sinner. I reject it completely. I was not born a sinner. I don't buy that idea. No, I was not born in sin. And I was not born a sinner, and I'm not a sinner. When you study Buddhism a little bit, you get a point. I was not born a sinner, and I was not born in sin. Rejected. I reject that idea completely. I was not born a sinner. I was not born in sin, and I'm not a sinner. I came into this world pure-minded. We are programmed. It's just like a computer. We are programmed. The language I'm speaking English language because somebody taught me. Everything was learned. I'm not a sinner, so I reject the idea of sin. You have to pick some things that are correct. We hear a lot of things in the daytime. You hear corrupt things, you hear pure things. You have to pick. It's programming. Everything is being programmed. I'm teaching you now, I'm sort of programming you as well. So you have to choose between what is good and what is not good. You have to choose between what is right and what is not right. As you go along, you have to be making choices as you go along. So when you talk about sin, I reject it. I was not born a sinner. No. What happened? I'll teach you as a teacher, and some students will be able to follow my teachings. I tell you exactly what happened. What happened is what the Buddha teaches. You were born not knowing. You were born ignorant. You were born not knowing English language. So when you went to your primary school or your kindergarten, you learned English language. You were taught ABCDs. You were taught the other languages as well. Those in Russia learned Russia. Those in China learned Chinese. Those in Japan learned Japanese. Okay? Those of us in Nigeria learned your vernaculars. Hausas learned Hausas, Igbos and Yorubas. Everybody else learned their languages. We learned Edo and Esa, okay, in our schools. So that's the idea. So everything was programmed. We were all programmed. Everything you know, you have been programmed. Now, during the programming process, this is where the difference comes. While you are being programmed, there's something also called bad friends too. You hear terrible things from bad companies. When you have friends in school, so you hear some people talking terrible things that your ears don't want to hear. You run away quickly. I don't want to hear those bad programs. It's terrible. It's going to destroy my mind. That's part of it. So as you grow up, you have to make decisions between what is correct to stand decent and to be able to progress and achieve success in life. You have to determine for yourself, every human being, to determine what part of the programs are running well and what part of the programs are not running well. You have to choose what is right and what is not right, what is good and what is not good. You have to make choices as you go along. And that's all I'm saying. So if you prefer that you are a sinner, you were born in sin, that's you, not me. As a teacher, I was not born in sin. I was born perfect and pure. Then as I opened my mind, I opened my mind in the universe because I'm a part of the universe. Just as you are a part of the universe, we are all parts of the universe. And the universal intelligence is using us to reach out. We are all one whole system. That's what the whole world is. Okay? And so along the path, we started picking things. You started learning. Went to school, learned ABCDs, kindergartens, learned English language. We started learning everything. Said this was good. Mathematics, yes. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9. We started learning. This is all programming. We're programmed. Mathematics, English language is good. Everybody, we started. Okay, we learned. We picked what was good. And we heard things that were not good as well. And we quickly dismissed things that were not good. You got it? That's the point. So you started programming. It's a programming process. We are exactly like computers. Human beings created computers because that's what is in their memory. So it's programming. You have to learn and you have to determine for yourself what is correct and what is incorrect. So that's the correct point. Okay? So we are all learning. We are all students. You're just learning things that are right and things that are not right. And when you see things that are right, you pick it. And then what happens? You improve yourself. You become brighter. When you see things that are incorrect, you reject them. And you become free and able to succeed. That's the point. That's why we don't harm people in Buddhism. See the difference? In Christianity, where they teach you about sin, you could be right to kill somebody. He's a sinner. Goliath was a bad person. Goliath was a wicked enemy, very sinful, oppressing the Jews. So David killed Goliath. David is seen as a hero, killed Goliath. Whereas if you bring him to Buddha, I'll say, no, this was just ignorance. David is not a hero in Buddhism. Both David and Goliath are both ignorant people. That's how Buddha would judge them. They were not, David is not heroic. Goliath did not harm. These people just needed to have been taught. You see? So in Buddhism, you must learn to reject the idea of sin. You don't accept the idea of sin, because when you accept the idea of sin, you become a hateful person. We hate sin. Right? You got the point? And you are not supposed to hate sin. You are supposed to reject the idea. Because when you hate sin, you got the point? It's a very intelligent trick here. It means you have hated. And when you have hated, the hate has entered you. And the hate is what? Poison. It's going to destroy you. It is true that you hated sin. I hate sin. No. Buddha said, no, don't hate sin. Got a trick? It's a trick. It's something you really have to understand. Reject the whole point. Because you don't want to hate something. Because when the hatred enters you, the hatred will destroy your innocence. The hatred will destroy your purity. You now become an impure being. The way you hate sin, I know exactly where I'm going with the point, and I think you know where I'm going with the point. The way you hate sin, that's the way you will hate somebody. David hated Goliath. Right? He hated Goliath. Goliath was an enemy oppressing the Jews. So he killed Goliath. And when you check your Bible, what did God say in your Bible? Thou shalt not kill. After God spoke those 4 words, thou shalt not kill, what did he do? Period. He put a full stop in point of it. Thou shalt not kill, period. He didn't say, except Goliath comes. He didn't. David had wronged God by killing Goliath. The law said, thou shalt not kill. Okay? So, if David did not hate, if he did not have hatred, he would not have struck Goliath down. Because in Christianity, that act is considered correct. Whereas in Buddhism, it is considered incorrect. If it was not considered incorrect, I would not be teaching you now. In Christianity, David is hailed for killing Goliath, which means you, the person hailing David for killing Goliath, you are a potential killer. Because you are admiring somebody who killed somebody else. And that's the first law of Buddhism. It's the 5th law of the canon of Moses. The 10 Commandments. The 5th law is, thou shalt not kill. God gave no exceptions. No exceptions. God gave no excuses. You shall not kill, period, is what God said. Period. Full stop. He didn't say but, except Goliath. People didn't understand it until David went ahead and did one more terrible thing. He got Uriah killed as well. And took Uriah's wife, who became the mother of Solomon. Then God punished him at last. Now, so that David committed sins. Because he said Goliath was an obvious enemy. What about Uriah, who was his general? He killed Uriah and took Uriah's wife. And these were all right things? No. So that's why in Buddhism, we learn to reject the feelings, the emotions. Don't hate anybody. This is the teaching. Don't hate sin. Reject the ideas completely. Don't hate it. You see, the hatred is what you don't want. I don't want to know anything about hatred. Remove hatred completely. This is what we teach in Buddhism. Got a trick? It takes a while, but later you'll get it. Don't hate anything. Do not hate. Don't be hateful. Don't be a human. Be loving. Love. Have love and compassion in your heart. Be compassionate. Love. Don't excuse yourself to kill human beings. That's the first law in Buddhism. You shall not kill. It was the 5th law of Moses. Moses himself broke the law. Moses killed Egyptians, if you remember. And then after the commandments were even given, they went ahead and killed more people. The land that God promised them, they entered the promised land, slaughtering people and everything. Joshua and all of them. They were all killers. But don't forget the law of God. The law of God says, thou shalt not kill. He did not say except when you are entering the promised land. There were no exceptions. Therefore, if you have read the 5th commandment of Moses very well, anybody who kills has offended God. Period. And that law is the first law of Buddhism. Thou shalt not kill. There is no excuse. There is no but, if, except, no. Read it. Read the commandments very clearly. And you can defend it as much as you please. I'm a Buddhist. I'm speaking from Buddhist perspectives. If you bring all these prophets to Buddha, Buddha will say, wrong. What they did was not correct. I am a Buddhist. So if you bring them before me, Moses killed the Egyptian. I will say, wrong. Moses did not do correctly. I'm speaking from Buddhist perspective. I don't care whether his commandment said, thou shalt not kill or thou shalt kill. As a Buddhist, that was incorrect. He did wrong. David killed Goliath, wrong. They are not honored for that. And I'm sure that when you meet Almighty God will say, well, those are the laws that were given. They killed. They should not be killing people. And that's where sin, if you really read St. Paul's Gospel, did St. Paul kill anybody? No. Good. Buddha will honor St. Paul for that. He didn't kill people. He might have applauded, but stoning of Stephen and so on, but he didn't kill anybody. Did Jesus Christ kill anybody? No, Jesus Christ did not. Buddha said good. So that's where the whole spiritual purity comes from. You have to watch hatred. Don't be hateful. Not even of sin. Love what is good. Do not hate. Be compassionate. All human beings feel suffering. All human beings feel pain. Buddha said that's why we are filled with compassion for human beings. Because we understand that the state of being human is filled with pain and suffering. So from intelligence, pure intelligence, we are automatically compassionate. I'm automatically compassionate. I have the feelings of compassion for all human beings because I'm a human being myself and I feel pain and suffering. And this is how the Buddha teaches it. So you're automatically filled with compassion because you understand what everybody else is feeling because you are feeling the same thing. And once you are filled with compassion, automatically love. You are filled with love, not hatred. So it's a matter of reasoning. It comes from wisdom and reasoning and meditation. This is how. So it's a little bit different in Buddhist teaching. Okay? So I'm just going to teach you this is how it goes both ways. Now I'm going to proceed quickly and read because of tranquil. That's where I came from on 96. 97. It is not necessary for a man to believe anything if he knows that which is not created. If he has extinguished samsara rebirth, if he has ruined all chances to do good or evil, and abandoned all craving. Truly, such a man is the greatest, most superior, and most successful. 98. A man may dwell in the town, in the city, or in the jungle, in the bush. He may dwell on the hills, elevated dwelling, or in the valley, base level dwelling, but wherever the learned sage dwells, that is a treasure haven, a glittering paradise. Concluding verse for chapter 7, verse 99. The bushes and jungles where humans find no pleasure at all are greatly pleasing to them. Those who are liberated from craving always find pleasure and happiness, for they are not in pursuit of the pleasures of the flesh. This is the point. So when we come before Buddhism, or before Buddha, or in Buddhism, we relax. We are always relaxed. This is why I really embrace Buddhism, because we don't fear anything. No matter what you do, the Buddha does not harm. And if there was anything we could really call religion in this world, that's what I call religion. You teach human beings not to do harm to anybody else. That is the religious teaching. If I go to any religious teaching and I find one human being doing harm to another person, one person killing somebody else or attacking somebody else, I will not buy that religion. That's the secret. So automatically when you come Christianity, you say, what is the teacher doing on the cross? Why did they kill Jesus Christ on the cross? What's this? It's alarming. What? Is that the teacher? That's the teacher that taught everybody. Why is he on the cross? What's he doing on the cross then? Say his followers, the Pharisees, his enemies killed him. No. That has already, God is not happy with that. God is not happy with that. You see? So this is the secret. Understand the whole point of our religious teachings. If you are going to improve the world, teach human beings how to work hard, how to strive hard, how not to be hateful of other people. Remove hatred. Be pure. Pure soul. And thou shalt not kill. The commandment was given to Moses. Moses broke the commandment. Moses killed the Egyptian. The Buddha gave the commandment. The Buddha said, thou shalt not kill. That's the first law in Buddhism. And what happened? The Buddha did not kill anybody. Did not even slap anybody. So you can judge yourself who has done what is right. One person is saying thou shalt not kill and is killing the people. Another person is saying thou shalt not kill and he does not kill. So you have to act